Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Gracious Kaman TV, the tallest man in Black Africa. Yesterday, we saw the diplomatic community uniting against Raila Amolo Odinga, and they issued a statement. And if you read between the lines, kuna jambo moja ambalo utagundua kwamba hawa wana diplomasia kutoka hususan upande wa kimagharibi, the western nations, are uniting against Raila Amolo Odinga. One thing that caught my attention is that they said that we had transparent elections, and the elections were concluded and in a very fair manner. That is according to the assessment. The other thing that caught my attention is the way they praised the Inspector General for promising, and you underline the word promise, for promising to investigate wale watu ambao walikuwa wanachoma kanisa, wale watu ambao walichoma msikiti, wale watu maharamia waliovamia shamba la Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, maharamia majagili ambao waliharibu mali katika East Africa Spectra owned by Raila Amolo Odinga, na wengi ambao waliua watu. And this was very interesting. This is something that is very, very ironical, if you ask me. Again, one other thing that they said is that they are concerned with the invasion of private properties and the violence that is coming with the demonstration. But it is worth also noting that these diplomats did not in any way condemn police brutality. The brutality that is meted by the police against innocent and unarmed population, they could not see this. Again, these diplomats did not mention about the cost of living. They did not mention anything like this. And you know the reason why they cannot mention this is because they are behind the removal of subsidies. That is why they cannot talk about this. I don't know what you think, but I believe that is the major reason why they cannot talk about the cost of living, that which is a fact, by the way. Everybody is complaining. They also did not mention anything about IEBC, because what we have, Raila Amolo Odinga and Azimio in general have raised three issues. And one of the issues is the way IBC is being reconstituted by William Samoei Ruto. And they are blind to this. Again, they did not mention the idea of opening servers, because according to them, the elections were conducted in a free and fair manner. And this one tells you that there is no hope. This one tells you that they don't see the need of opening the servers. One thing that you know that is that Hawatu, the Americans, the Britons, the Germans, the Norway, Italy, all these guys that were talking about Kenya, they were the people who aided this government to be in power. They are the one who interfered with our elections. And we are where we are because of this kind of shenanigans, because of interference with the sovereignty of the Republic of Kenya by the foreign powers. Again, these are the people who subverted the will of the people, the will of the Kenyans. And that is why they cannot see the need of opening the servers. Again, something else that caught my attention is that they did not condemn the riots that happened in France. Indeed, the riots in France were violent in nature. the violence that was seen in France. Maybe ya Kenya inaonekana kama ni Krismasi wanasherekea. But these guys are blind to this. They cannot condemn one of their own. But now, Mwafrika, kwa sababu yeye ndiye ambaye anakosea, Mwafrika makosa yote ni yake, ndio sababu hawezi wakalaumu Ufaransa. In this video, I want you to show why. I want to show you why these diplomats are uniting against Raila Amolo Odinga. I want to show you what is aching them. Why do they feel uncomfortable with Raila Amolo Odinga? What do they hope to achieve? Number one is that the unity against Raila Amolo Odinga is to create a perception image that Raila is the villain. Wanataka Raila alaumiwe na watu. Wanataka Raila alaumiwe na jamii ya kimataifa. Wanataka Raila alaumiwe na wananchi wa Kenya. Wanataka Raila alaumiwe na Afrika kwa jumla. This is one of the objectives. And you know, in politics, perception is very, very important. So by uniting against Raila Amolo Odinga, they will end up creating a narrative and a perception that the only person ambaye anakosea, the reason why tuna maandamano is because of Raila Amolo Odinga. The second reason why they are uniting is because they want to cover their interference with the 2022 elections. And that is why they don't want the servers to be opened. Why would they unite and give a communique one day? Meaning they had met, meaning they had agreed what to do and what to say, meaning that they are following closely what is happening in Kenya, and they are very, very much afraid that they will be exposed. Because I believe in the fullness of time, they will be exposed. They feel that the way things are going, if they don't talk, they will easily be exposed. And that is why they want a cover-up of the 2022 general elections. Why did they talk about opening the servers? You see, it is very simple. It means they know what happened. Why did they not even talk about the whistleblower? The whistleblower who came up, because I believe this is an IBC insider, mwenye ambaye aliweka ukweli dhahiri na kuonyesha kwamba Raila Amolo Odinga alipata kura milioni 8.4 na William Samoei Ruto kapata milioni 5.4. Kwa nini wasizungumzie the whistleblower if they are genuine, if they mean business, if they want truth and justice? Kwa kile ambacho unaona hapa ni unafiki wa hali ya juu sana. Hypocrisy of the Western nations. Again, these guys are always after their own interests. And now what is happening is that, these guys controls everything. They control central bank. By the way, many people have never known that the government has very little to say when it comes to central bank. The rate of interest is determined by foreigners. And the way the finances, the financial sector of any nation is determined by the central bank. And the central bank look like it's a foreign entity. Doesn't look like it is owned by Kenyans. Any central bank in the world, ukiangalia, utaona kwamba they are answerable to a foreign country, usually Britain, usually America, and so on and so forth. So what they want to do is that they are after their own interest, and they know that if Raila Amolo Odinga continues with the mission, if he continues with the demonstrations, he is going to put things upside down. He is going to expose them. He is going to interfere with their interests. America will always go after its interests. The same case applies to Britain. The same case applies to Germany. Haya ni majibu ambayo yanabweka na kubweka marafiki zangu sana kwa sababu ya hapa na pale. Si unajua, mnaona vile mambo yanaendelea siku hizi kwamba kuna ule uvamizi ambao unapelekwa na unaletwa na majagiri, na hata mliona Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta leo alipeleka ma German Shepherd, majibu hatari sana, the guards to guard the northern alliance. So majibu ni marafiki mkubwa sana. Back to the main business. The other reason why hawa wana diplomasia are uniting against Raila Amolo Odinga is because they can see that if things continue the way they are going, the government of William Samoei Ruto will completely lose the legitimacy. You know what is happening is that the legitimacy of this government is in question. It was a contested elections. It was determined by the courts, in which case the servers were not opened. Even when the judges, the Supreme Court judges, authorized the IBC to open the servers, Smartmatic company refused completely. So, if this was the case, if the servers were never opened, how did the judges come to the conclusions? How? That tells us that the legitimacy of this government is in question. Again, there is a fear, there's a great fear, what I would call Raila phobia in the diplomatic circles. These guys fear Raila Amolo Odinga. Maybe, you know, Raila Amolo Odinga had always been trying to behave the way he is not. Because now, the way Raila is behaving, that is his true nature. That is the real Raila Amolo Odinga. So the other Raila, who was behaving like, you see, I don't know, but when you look at him, he would always look presidential, always behave like he doesn't want to offend them, always look like he's not a radical, always talk like he's reconciliatory. The Raila we are seeing today is very, very different. The Raila we are seeing today is a hardliner. The Raila we are seeing today is the Raila that you knew of the trenches. The Raila who was there in 1990s. Kwa hivyo kile ambacho kipo ni kwamba wanamuogopa Raila Amolo Odinga kuliko vile ambavyo wanaogopa mamba. Ni heri wagusaguse mkia mamba, ama wagusaguse wacheze na simba na nyonyesha kuliko kumchezea Raila Amolo Odinga. In fact, they fear him. And Raila is feared because he knows the truth. Just like Madera was feared, by the way. And even Kenyatta was feared by the British. And one of the reasons why they fear Raila Amolo Odinga is because Raila Amolo Odinga will always tell them bluff. Raila Amolo Odinga will always talk the truth, will always defend the interests of the Africans. You know, Raila Amolo Odinga is a true Pan-Africanist. Na jambo hili ni jambo ambalo linawafanya wamuogope sana. So Raila phobia is the one that is eating them. Raila phobia is the one that made them to unite against Raila Amolo Odinga and issue a communique. Because I'm saying, when you read between the lines, the tone of that communique is that they are against Raila Amolo Odinga. They are not in agreement with what is happening. They want Raila Amolo Odinga to call off the demonstrations. The other reason why, in my view, these guys issued this is because, you know, when you look at Kenya, it is now a ground, it's a battleground of East-West battles, economic battles, economic supremacy. East led by the Chinese and the West led by the Americans and the Britons. Kwa kile ambacho kinajitokeza kwamba ukiangalia ile orodha ya wale wanadiplomasia ambao walikuwa wametoa ule ujumbe, you realize that majority of them are from the North America and Canada and Europe. Si kuna upande wa China ukihusishwa sana, upande wa mashariki ukihusishwa sana, kwa sababu wao wanajua ya kwamba, you know, when it comes to China, as I've always posited in this channel, is that China, even when giving aids, have no conditions. And unlike the Bretton Woods institutions, unlike the Americans, unlike the European nations that gives a lot of aids, and then after giving aids, they give a lot of conditions. The conditions, some of them are so difficult to follow. And one of the conditions that was given to William Samoei Ruto is that he must remove the subsidies. He must tax Kenyans. He must ensure that GMO is accepted in Kenya. So these are the tough conditions that was given, and many other conditions that we are going to learn as we move on with statecraft. Again, they fear that Raila Amolo Odinga has a hidden card. Even the government fears that Raila Amolo Odinga has a wild card. After the Madamano, what next? If Madamano fails, what next? I also believe that Raila Amolo Odinga has a hidden card, has a wild card that is going to shock this nation. When the Madamano fails, he is going to announce something else. He has a wild card under his sleeves. Do you know what is it? Let us wait and see. And because Raila Amolo Odinga is a man of tricks, is a man who will never learn short of ideas. Is the most exciting political animals to study. If you are a student of political science, study Raila Amolo Odinga. You see the way he is able to come up with an idea and change the trajectory of politics of the country. Again, that hidden card is a card that is killing the Western nations. Hence, the reason of uniting and fighting a psychological battle to put Raila Amolo Odinga on the corner so that he can call off the strike. Again, when you look at all this, I believe these guys are giving Raila and Azimio a warning that you are going to give conditions. We are going to give sanctions to you. If you don't call off Madamano, we are going to give economic sanctions to you. We are going to give travel restrictions. We are going to ban you from visiting our countries. That is the message. And the message, when you look at the communique, it is supporting Kenya Kwanza government. When you look at the communique, it is against Raila Amolo Odinga. I don't know what you think. I don't know what you read between the lines. But if you ask Gracious Command TV, the tallest man in Black Africa, I can tell you there is more than this communique. Please like this video and may you have a blessed day. Till next time, as we wait how the day is going to unfold, because this could be, by the way, this day could be very dramatic. This day could spring up surprises. Let us see and see what is going to happen, because a day siku njema huonekana asubuhi, na tunaona siku njema ishaanza kuonekana. Mie wenu Gashi Skyman, bye bye.